Spa Weekend was supposed to be the kind of comedy that makes audiences forget their problems for 97 minutes. Instead, on the very day this star-powered female comedy hits theaters, critics are asking a much harsher question. How did a movie starring Leslie Mann, Anna Faris, Michelle Buteau and Isla Fisher end up feeling this flat? The film officially opens in U.S. theaters on August 21, 2026, and the early reviews are already splitting sharply over whether this chaotic girl's getaway is a fun throwback or a major missed opportunity. The setup sounds almost impossible to mess up. Three longtime friends, Jane, Sophie and Coco, are exhausted by careers, relationships, family responsibilities and everyday life, so they escape to a luxury spa retreat for some much-needed time together. Then there's Mel, played by Isla Fisher, the unpredictable friend whose arrival turns the supposedly peaceful weekend into complete chaos. The official premise sells the movie as a wild mix of friendship, bad decisions, and comedy in the spirit of Bad Moms and The Hangover. And on paper, the combination looks strong. John Lucas and Scott Moore, the filmmakers behind The Hangover and Bad Moms, are back with another ensemble comedy. The cast brings together Leslie Mann, Anna Faris, Michelle Buteau and Isla Fisher, with Adam Demos also appearing as Kai. The movie runs about 97 minutes and has been released as an R-rated comedy, meaning audiences are clearly not supposed to expect a gentle, family-friendly spa day. But here's where the story gets interesting. The movie's biggest strength may also be the thing critics say can't completely rescue it: the cast. One review praised the chemistry among the four women and described their interactions as natural and genuinely human, even suggesting that improvisation helped create that feeling. Another review, however, argued that the talented actresses simply aren't given enough strong material to work with. The chaos itself is supposed to drive the comedy. The women move from one spa treatment to another, and things quickly spiral out of control. There are massages, mud baths, goat yoga, a stolen golf cart and a handsome Australian spa worker who becomes part of Jane's story. In other words, the filmmakers have packed the movie with exactly the kind of outrageous ingredients you'd expect from the people who helped create The Hangover. Yet some critics say the problem isn't a lack of events. It's that the events don't consistently produce big laughs. The Financial Times called the comedy surprisingly tame and criticized the limited character development, while The Guardian's review was even more severe, arguing that the film doesn't deliver the edgy comedy, satire, or emotional depth its premise seems to promise. And that creates an unusual situation for Spa Weekend. There are actually reviewers who enjoyed the movie. One positive review gave it 4 out of 5 stars, praising the performances, the chemistry, and the idea that beneath the ridiculous behavior is a sincere story about complicated female friendship. Another review said the cast gives the movie enough energy to make it a worthwhile night out, even while admitting that the script itself can feel generic. There's also a fascinating story behind the scenes. The cast filmed the movie on Australia's Gold Coast, and production was interrupted by severe weather from cyclones. According to People, the actresses were forced indoors for several days, but instead of letting the disruption kill the mood, they reportedly bonded, made bikini TikTok videos and treated the experience almost like summer camp. That real-life chemistry became one of the things the filmmakers hoped would translate onto the screen. But there's a bigger question hiding underneath all these reviews. Is Spa Weekend actually trying to be the next Bridesmaids? The comparison is almost inevitable because both films center on female friendships, outrageous behavior, and the pressures surrounding adulthood. But critics have pointed out that Bridesmaids worked because its characters had complicated relationships and emotional friction underneath the comedy. If Spa Weekend doesn't create that same tension, then the wild situations alone may not be enough. That's especially important because the movie arrives at a time when Hollywood is once again betting on theatrical comedies. For years, audiences have heard that broad, adult comedies are becoming harder to get onto the big screen. So Spa Weekend isn't just another movie about 4 friends at a resort. It's also a test of whether a star-driven, R-rated comedy can still turn a simple premise into a theatrical event. And the verdict right now is anything but unanimous. Some reviewers see a fun, breezy escape powered by 4 charismatic actresses. Others see a missed opportunity, a movie with the cast, writers, and premise to be hilarious, but not enough sharp material to reach that potential. So if you're deciding whether Spa Weekend deserves your movie ticket money this weekend, the answer may depend on exactly what you're looking for. If you want sophisticated comedy with razor-sharp writing, the early criticism suggests you may leave disappointed. But if what you want is a fast, messy, R-rated girls trip with 4 recognizable stars throwing themselves into ridiculous situations, there are critics who believe the movie delivers exactly that. And maybe that's the real story here. Spa Weekend doesn't have to become the next Bridesmaids to find an audience. It simply has to convince viewers that sometimes, after a long week, a little chaos with the right group of friends is exactly what a comedy is supposed to be. If you found this update helpful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to Prime Wire, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest news. Thanks for watching.